नमस्कार एंड वेलकम टू न्यू इंडिया संकल्प। जब नए इंडिया को बनाने का संकल्प युवाओं की याद आती है, क्योंकि ये जज्बा अक्सर युवाओं में होता है। युवावस्था में मन होता है कि दुनिया बदल दें, देश को एक नई राह पर ले चलें और अपने लिए भी नए रास्ते खोजें। ऐसे में अगर युवाओं को सही गाइडेंस मिले, एक तरीका समझ आ जाए जीने का, अपनी पर्सनालिटी डेवलप करने का, तो आगे जाकर वो दरअसल न्यू इंडिया संकल्प को साकार कर सकते हैं। और यही काम करता है नेशनल कैडेट को। इट बिल्ड्स द बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक्स ऑफ आवर नेशन। और आज हम एनसीसी के बारे में आज के प्रोग्राम में बात करने जा रहे हैं। ये जानने की कोशिश करेंगे कि एनसीसी दरअसल है क्या और युवाओं को इससे क्या फ़ायदा होता है। We are delighted to have on our program today the Director General of NCC, Lieutenant General P P Malhotra. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Air Commodore Sunil Kumar, who is the DDG P&C.
Yes.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
And Colonel S Sajwan, who is the RDC Secretary. It's a delight to have you on our program.
Thank you.
We are also delighted to have a wonderful, youthful, Joshili audience who are the NCC cadets who are participating in the Republic Day camp. Welcome all to this program.
Thank you, ma'am.
एनसीसी के बारे में बातचीत शुरू करने से पहले आइए देखते हैं एनसीसी पर ये फिल्म।
A committee headed by Pandit H.N. Kunzuru recommended a cadet organization to be established in school and colleges at national level, a time when one confronts the most impressionable minds. On 16th of July 1948, by an act of parliament, the National Cadet Corps came into existence. Their motto, unity and discipline. Their aims to develop qualities of character, courage, comradeship, discipline, leadership, secular outlook, spirit of adventure and sportsmanship, and the ideals of selfless service among the youth to make them useful citizens. To create a human resources of organized, trained and activated youth to provide leadership in all walks of life, including the armed forces, and always available for the service of the nation. It was a major milestone for the development of the student community. The biggest contribution of NCC was the evacuation of civil population from Tezpo during Chinese aggression, or maintaining a vigil against enemy paratroopers, firefighting, helping the administration and civilians. '65 war with Pakistan saw NCC as the second line of defense. They organized camps to assist the ordnance factories, supplying arms and ammunition to the front, and also used as a patrol parties to capture the enemy paratroopers. It was after the 1971 war that saw a character change from the second line of defense. It laid a greater stress on developing qualities of leadership and officer-like qualities. But no organization can rest on its laurels. A systematic upgradation and modernization of equipments and training profiles, along with a constant review of its performance, are a must to keep up with changing times. NCC, an organization with a glorious past, an enduring present, and a vision for the future.
So that was a nice introduction to what NCC is all about. I would like to start with you, Lieutenant General. Tell us something about the history of NCC. What was the inception? Why did they start the National Cadet Corps in India?
NCC was present in this country in some form or the other, even prior to independence.
Right.
Actually, in the year 1917, it was in a form of a university corps.
Right.
And it was a kind of a feeder for the British forces which were there.
Right.
It got transformed into a university officers corps, where primarily the cadets used to be picked up to become officers. However, in Free India, it actually came up in July 1948 by an act of Parliament.
Okay.
And after that, there was a series of events which took place, where in 1949 we had the girls wing being opened for NCC, and then we had 1950 where we had the naval wing, and 1952 where we had the air wing, which was joined up, and that gave it a tri-services facet to NCC.
So when NCC started, it was just a military sort of a service or a
yes,
corps.
the basic idea was to have a second line of defense.
Right.
What the years which went on also cemented that fact, in the sense that after the 1962 war, from 1963 to 68, NCC was made compulsory for all the college-going students from about 17 to about 25. And these cadets were given basic military training. However, in 1968, we realized that it was a colossal task, and we were not geared up whether in terms of resources or the trainers. So it was again converted into volunteer organization. And the events of 1965 and 71 war showed that they proved their mettle.
71 war और 65 war में NCC का बहुत बड़ा योगदान रहा था.
There has been, in the sense that in 65 there was a Gazette of India notification which was done, and the activities which could be done by NCC cadets was notified in that Gazette. And we are proud to state that there's a cadet from Gurdaspur who got an Ashok Chakra class 3. There was a train of ammunition which was on the Gurdaspur station, and because of the Pakistan shelling, it was likely to catch fire. So the cadets which are there, with their bare hands and without even bothering for their own safety, pushed the wagons away so that the damage could be reduced drastically.
मैं आपसे पूछना चाहती हूँ कमोडोर कि ये जो हम बात करते हैं कि एनसीसी इस तरह से फॉर्म हुई, एंड देयर वाज दिस एंटायर थिंग व्हेन एनसीसी वाज कंपल्सरी फॉर स्टूडेंट्स, और ये बीच में तो बंद हो गया, बट डू यू थिंक देयर इज़ एनी स्कोप कि ये फिर से हो? क्योंकि जो हम देखते हैं कि एनसीसी के कैडेट्स हैं और उनका जो एटीट्यूड है, उनका जो एक you know the way they live life, एक unity, discipline जो उनकी लाइफ में होता है, वो बाकी स्टूडेंट्स में देखने को कम मिलता है.
This question has been coming up again and again as to how to expand NCC on to a much bigger scale, so that virtually at least every young student of our nation can go through at least some form of NCC training. And this idea has come up many a times. Many a times we keep receiving the RTIs, we keep getting the mails, we keep getting even the questions raised in the parliament, for which we give the answers. And I think the issue is only of numbers. Like even if you say you want to expose all our 9th, 10th class students to NCC training, the numbers comes to almost 4 crores. So that's a huge number. Our current strength is around 13 lakhs. So it's a strength which will you can aim for it, but it is a gigantic task. I'm sure the government has it at the back of its mind, but it's the finances I think which is a limiting factor.
हमारे देश में देखा जाए तो जनरल साहब, more than half of our population is a young population, and अगर उसमें सिर्फ 13 lakh अगर NCC cadets हैं, तो it's a very small fraction, isn't it?
Yeah, But I wanted to tell you that we still can, even with our resources which we have, we can still make a dent. Abhi, thanks to CBSE, it has been made an elective subject for 11th and 12th and an optional subject for 9th and 10th. आज जो है नेशनल फिगर्स में करीब 380 या 400 बच्चे जो हैं उन्होंने ये ऑप्ट किया है इस सब्जेक्ट को. So I would suggest that the more and more cadets should take up NCC either as an optional or elective subject,
Right.
so that some form of training which is there, which we would want to impart to our youth, we can give it through at least this medium without making any major changes in our overall setup.
अच्छा, बात करते हैं रिपब्लिक डे कैंप की जो हर साल दिल्ली में लगता है और ऐसे लगता है जैसे पूरा हिंदुस्तान यहाँ पर आकर it has gathered here and it's a beautiful event for people who have seen it, and of course Doordarshan shows Prime Minister's rally every year live. तो ये जो you're the secretary of the Republic Day camp, तो ये कैंप क्या है exactly, इसके बारे में बताइएगा.
This is a mini India camp.
जी.
Okay, NCC is divided into 17 state directorate. We are spread out of 716 districts. NCC is there in 710 districts.
Right.
Now we get around 2070 cadets from all over the country. They come through after rigorous selection procedure, 2-3 camps before they come to for the Republic Day camp. And this Republic Day camp is a total 30 days program which gets inaugurated by Honorable Vice President. Like this year it has happened on 7th of January. And then we have a series of visits of various services chief, and it culminates into a Prime Minister rally on 28th of January. So this is a kind of a lot of activities we carry out. We have our contingents and band participating in Rajpath parade also.
So अगर ये कहा जाए कि पूरे देश के जो कैडेट्स हैं वो वैसे भी बेस्ट माने जाते हैं अपने कॉलेजेस और स्कूल्स में, तो जो यहाँ कैंप में आते हैं, दे आर द बेस्ट ऑफ द बेस्ट.
They are the cream, ma'am.
They are the cream.
They are the cream, and you will find the difference. You have mentioned in your starting statement that you can find a difference between a normal student and a NCC student. After they have completed this Republic Day camp, they are oozing with lot of confidence because of their interaction with the various chief guests, various dignitaries. That's the amount of confidence they
Yeah, we
do
can
get.
see the amount of confidence and the sheer joy on the faces of our cadets here. तो आपने कौन से personalities हैं जिनके साथ interact किया? Who were the VIPs you met and how did you react to that? Who would like to tell me?
So ma'am, the camp started, and the first VIP that had come over to the camp was the Vice President.
Yes.
And a lot of cadets got to interact with him for tea. And the second chief guest was the Air Chief, and we got an opportunity to visit his place, visit the Air Force Staff House, and we interacted with a lot of officers
And
over
you're
there.
from the air wing, so it must have been very special for you.
Yes, ma'am, it was indeed special for all of us. People from Army got a chance to visit the Army Chief, and it gives you a sense of pride and even more confidence with the very fact that you're representing your own state and you get to visit the dignitaries a normal kid wouldn't. Somebody who's not from an NCC background wouldn't really get an opportunity or chance to meet the dignitaries. We'll be initially meeting the Prime Minister also for tea, the Defence Minister. So I think NCC is giving us a lot of opportunities.
You guys are really fortunate. Tanvi is of course quite excited about all this. General Saab, I would like to ask you, NCC में किस तरह की activities होती हैं?
हमारी जो activities है, it's actually a progressive activity.
जी.
The start point, that is the base, is what we call the institutional training.
Right.
Institutional training various schools और colleges में ये कराई जाती है, और इसको कराने के लिए हमारे जो selected professors या school teachers हैं उनकी हम 3 months का एक separate course करते हैं.
जी.
कोर्स करवाते हैं और उनको बार बार थोड़े सालों के बाद रिफ्रेशर कोर्स होता है, वो और हमारे जो आर्मी के जो ऑफिसर्स और जवान हैं वो उनको इंस्टीट्यूशनलाइज ट्रेनिंग करते हैं। एंड उस ट्रेनिंग के बाद जो इंस्टीट्यूशनलाइज ट्रेनिंग के साथ साथ एक कैंप्स होते हैं 10 दिन के, 12 दिन के, पहले एक विद इन दैट स्टेट डायरेक्टरेट, एंड प्रोग्रेसिवली वी हैव सेंट्रल कैंप्स. So this becomes one portion of the training, that is the first layer, and it has got subjects which range from military subjects, it's got subjects relating to the constitution, relating to disaster management, social upliftment. So all that is taught as part of the institutionalized training. The second step we come up to is adventure, sports and personality development.
That is the most exciting isn't
part.
it?
It's really wonderful that a cadet gets an opportunity to carry out activities like rock climbing, trekking. Then you also have scuba diving, you have sailing, and every year we take pride in the fact that हम 2 expeditions, mountaineering expeditions, हर साल एक boys का और एक girls का भेजते हैं. This year also we had both of them successfully scaled peaks in Himachal and in Uttarakhand. And both these peaks were 6,000 meters plus. So this accounts for the adventure training. Also for personality development, we have certain camps which are held wherein people from various psychologists, then people who are relating to the SSB, that is Service Selection Boards for the army, they come and deliver talks, give them awareness of a variety of issues and assist them in building up of their personality. And to give a wider horizon, some of the selected cadets go to foreign countries. We have this
that
year...
is part of YEP.
YEP, that is Youth Exchange Program.
Yes.
And this year we had about 125 cadets visiting 9 countries. We have one trip which is likely to come up shortly to Nepal, which is in February. So these cadets go there and they spend 10 days along with the cadets of those countries.
Right.
Which really widens their horizon.
Yes.
And just to add to it, as part of, since you mentioned the YEP, we have about 112 cadets from 10 countries who are participating in the RDC this year. They came on the 15th and they will be with them till the end of this camp.
And they also participate in the parade.
Parade, yes, yes. And lastly, what is there is that as part of our core values, we actually espouse the facets of selfless service and to have empathy towards the socially backward or the deprived lot. So we have a very wide range of social service and community development programs. You will see NCC in the forefront of Swachhta campaigns,
Yes.
blood donation, whether it is disaster management, whether it is what you call Nukkad Nataks being held to carry out a certain amount of social awareness. So there, you name the activity which is related to social upliftment, and the NCC has a stake in it. Every 3rd Saturday, you will find a very large number of NCC cadets with placards in their areas, raising slogans and trying to spread awareness about the various social issues which afflict that particular place.
Yeah. We've seen NCC cadets who take the pledge. स्वच्छता भारत अभियान की बात हो तो उसकी pledge लेते हैं. Earlier also for various egalitarian and social causes, they have always taken the pledge to ensure that अभी जो वो काम कर रहे हैं वो जिंदगी भर करते रहेंगे.
I would suggest that you must ask some of the cadets to recount the 10 commandments which are there of NCC, which we have set out for themselves. If someone follows those commandments, I think we will have a very strong and very disciplined youth, because it covers the canvas of all activities which a youth should actually partake in.
I think that's a great idea, but before that, let's take a short break. वापस आएंगे तो 10 commandments क्या है NCC की वो सुनेंगे.
गणतंत्र उत्सव, सबके साथ सबका साथ, 1 अरब से अधिक लोगों की राष्ट्रीय भावना का प्रदर्शन है. देश के शौर्य, पराक्रम और सांस्कृतिक विरासत की अद्भुत झांकी. मनाइए गणतंत्र उत्सव. सीधा प्रसारण 26 जनवरी सुबह 9 बजे दूरदर्शन के सभी चैनलों पर.
यूं तो कई सड़कों और कई अनजान राहों पे चला हूं, और सच तो ये है कि उन्हीं यादों, तजुर्बों और एहसासों से बना हूं। पर ये सफर कुछ अलग है और मेरे लिए बहुत ही खास है। तो बहुत जल्द आ रहा हूं मैं हिंदुस्तान के सबसे बड़े नेटवर्क दूरदर्शन पर।
वेलकम बैक टू न्यू इंडिया संकल्प। आज हम बात कर रहे हैं नेशनल कैडेट कोर की एंड हाउ द एनसीसी इज इन्वॉल्व्ड इन नेशन बिल्डिंग। ब्रेक में जाने से पहले जनरल साहब आपने बात की थी कि 10 कमांडमेंट्स के बारे में स्टूडेंट से पूछा जाए। सो हु इज गोइंग टू वॉलंटियर?
Jai Hind, ma'am. I am Cadet Sachet Sharan San from Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh Directorate. I will ensure proper construction of toilets. I will donate blood once a year, and I will be a proper Aadhaar of India.
My name is Cadet Alimna Riaz. I am from UP Directorate. As per the NCC commands, I will make digital transaction as much as possible. I will make garbage-free surroundings near me, and I will plant maximum trees around me.
My name is Under Officer Prachi Bhatt, and according to the NCC, there are certain commandments. That is, I'll help the physically challenged and disabled people. I'll carry out the 100 days of Shamdan, and also I'll help in the nation building and give a secular outlook.
I'm Cadet Navid Nasir. I'll be a role model of gender sensitivity.
Fantastic. That's a very important commandment. So that would be an ideal Indian citizen. And an ideal human being, because early to bed, early to rise, these are basic wisdoms that we learn as children and then forget when we grow up.
And then possibly he missed out one very important one which we talk about,
Yeah.
is gender sensitivity.
That is the most
He
important.
says he will remain a beacon for gender sensitivity. He shall not, he shall stand up for gender sensitivity and be someone that people will emulate.
That is the most important, because in our country men and women are equal, and that equal opportunity should be given to women, and that's their right. And as you rightly said, this is it's important to be sensitive towards each other. Why just women, also men? We should be sensitive towards each other. Do you agree? Yes, ma'am. And do you all practice this? Yes, ma'am. Well, that's good. And I hope you practice all the other 10 commandments as well. Yes, ma'am. I want to come back to the sports part, because that is the most exciting, General Saab. Adventure sports है, उसकी choice कैसे होती है? कौन mountaineering में जाएगा? कौन क्या scuba diving करेगा? इसका कुछ criteria है, or anyone can choose what they like?
What is there is that there are certain activities which are open for everybody, in the sense that we have treks being held all over the countryside. More recently, we had a trek which was called the Narmada trek, where they even, after doing the trek, they culminated it in the statue of Sardar Patel, the newly erected statue which was there. These are which are held across the country. Then you have rock climbing, which is held, but for a select few, because we can't incorporate everybody. Sailing is one thing which every senior cadet of the naval wing gets an exposure to. There is also, they are required to do one sailing expedition, which goes up to a minimum of about 400 kilometers, which they do along the coast by using their sails and their rowboats which they have got. The specialist kind of mountaineering courses which are there is a limitation on the number of vacancies which we can give, because the schools are limited. In Uttarkashi and Gulmarg. So we select a few of the cadets, send them to carry out in these kind of expeditions which are there. Also, you will appreciate when we have also the overseas deployment, where we have a few cadets who go in naval ships and visit various countries wherever they go. So we can't send too many. So those we then pick up, have volunteers coming in. We have courses being run for para-dropping in Agra, in the para center. So since they are a large number of courses which are held, so we can only give a certain number. So we ask every state to forward the names of few volunteers, and those get collected, and then we send them for these courses. But everyone has some flavor of the other, depending on his choice. He gets a flavor of doing, even if you actually see them doing the obstacle course, for many of the youth, even that would be rather exciting.
So a lot of these activities we see at the Republic Day camp, some of them are real activities and some of them are simulated because we see the tableaus and other things during the parade. So I think we can ask the students themselves which are the activities that they have come here to participate in and take special interest in. Because some of you are very artistic, I know.
Yes, ma'am.
So which of you are the artistic ones and what do you do?
In cultural also there are different variety of items like group dance, group song, national integration awareness program, then ballet, and all of these many of cadets are participating. And also there are drill. In drill there is guard of honor, Rajpath, PM rally, and also there is another competition like best cadet competition, flag area briefing, line area briefing. So all of these competition give us a variety of chances which will make us self-reliable and self-responsible also. So we all are very happy to participate in all these kind of competitions, ma'am.
Well, you look very happy.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm sure you're enjoying what are you doing the cultural part? What are you doing?
I'm doing the group dance and NIP.
So when you do the group dance, do you come prepared from your home
Yes,
state?
ma'am. We are getting practice from our directorate itself.
So you do that at home and come here?
No, ma'am. We have camps before this RDC.
Okay.
So we have directorate level camps. So in that we will get practice and we will come and do it here.
हम लोग जब प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स रैली देखते हैं तो इनमें एक डायरोरामा होता है जिसमें तरह तरह की कल्चरल एक्टिविटीज़ एक साथ देखने को मिलती हैं. तो ये लोग घर से ही प्रैक्टिस करके आते हैं कि आर देयर थिंग्स दैट दे डू हियर इन द कैंप?
ये लोग जो जैसे आपने बताया कोई किसी फील्ड में एक्सपर्ट है, कोई किसी फील्ड में एक्सपर्ट है. जब प्राइम मिनिस्टर रैली में हम क्या करते हैं, ये जो पूरे बच्चे को है इनको एक थीम दे देते हैं, फिर जो उनके प्रोग्राम है उसको कोऑर्डिनेट करके एक सेम प्लेटफॉर्म में लाते हैं.
सो मतलब कुछ प्रैक्टिस इनकी पहले से होती है, कुछ यहाँ आकर they coordinate with the others and that is where the mini India concept is.
I think the broad concept,
Right.
from here we decide
Okay.
what exactly is the concept on what we would like to follow. And then based on that particular theme, and we give every state to practice and come prepared with some kind of activity. क्योंकि ये in 30 days and इनके साथ साथ there is every day morning to evening कुछ ना कुछ चल रहा होता है. So it is very difficult for them to ab initio pick up something. So they all come prepared and then we within those few days we actually put it all together. And that's how the program actually.
And even
fell.
those 30 days are too little because they have such long hours. You know, it's almost like a 24-hour kind of work schedule they have. They wake up very early in the morning, don't you? Yes, ma'am. What time? 3 And yet you look so happy, all of you. Do you do that when you are at home? Get up at 3 in the morning? So Sajwan ji, because you are with them, आपको भी इसी drill को follow करना पड़ता है?
Yes, ma'am. If the cadets are there, so as a secretary RDC, it is my responsibility that I also take extra effort to make things smoothly going.
And what do you do to motivate them and keep them motivated?
I think they motivate us. It's such a kind of a energy. If you come to our camp, if you see 2,000 cadets, morning their activity actually starts at 3 o'clock because around 500 cadets moves out for Rajpath contingent practice. Okay, and then you see somebody is going for cultural program, somebody is going for guard of honor, somebody is going for flag area briefing. Actually, they are already motivated. We get motivated seeing their energy.
Isn't that wonderful? Yes. You're motivating your officers. And so, who decides who is going to the Republic Day camp, to the parade, and who is going for the line duty? ये कैसे decide होता है?
These competitions are fixed. That one of the cadet has brought out that there are number of competition. So we give them a vacancy to the directorate. Okay, these are the vacancy. I'll give you example. Like we have a Rajpath contingent. So we give them a vacancy. Okay, 10 cadets, boys cadet and 10 girls cadets are to be participated. Now again we carry out a selection procedure in terms of their drill, turnout, bearing and word of command. After that selection, the final goes for the Rajpath. This goes for all the competition we carry out there.
So we've seen about the culture activity, you've told us about that, about the marching contingents. What are the other activities?
For Best Cadet, we have various competitions. The flag, we have a firing, written exam, drill competition, and we even have group discussions, which test our communication skills. So in these various tests, the competitions are held, and the first 3 cadets are chosen out of 17 directorates.
And that is really a very prestigious moment. It is so special and magical when they receive the Best Cadet trophy and the runner-up trophy. It's really very special, isn't it?
Whether it's Best Cadet, whether it's drill, it's a multi-level process.
Yeah.
Like in the NCC, we have about 97 groups spread across 17 directorates. So first, each group which has got anything between 6 to 9 units, they select their best lot for every competition.
Right.
Then all these groups come to the directorate, and then at the directorate level, you have an intergroup competition for every activity. So the directorate selects their best out of this, the 2 to 6 groups that they have, and then all the 17 directorates bring this contingent of 106 cadets each, and we come here and we have again a competition at the all India level. So it's a very fantastic process which has been set in motion, continuing year after year, and it just gives us the best of the best.
It does give you the best of the best. When you come for this camp, you're meeting other cadets from all across the country. So you form these bonds and friendships, don't you? Yes. So what is that experience like?
Myself, Cadet Avinav Kumar Rai from Bihar and Jharkhand Directorate. I'm here interacting with the cadets from each and every directorate. It's really indeed a great experience for me. And not only for me, for everybody every cadet who is present here. However, I'm a cadet from Sainik School. Then I get opportunity to go in interzonals, and we just meet the guys from different Sainik schools. But as a part of zone, only few states combine there. But here I'm getting opportunity to meet the guys or the cadets from each and every directorate. It's indeed a great achievement for me.
General Sahab, this is somewhere where you actually have one-on-one interactions as the DG of NCC. पर्सनल एक टच तो हमेशा होता है. तो एक तरफ तो एक मिलिट्री डिसिप्लिन है, आपका यूनिटी एंड यूनिटी एंड डिसिप्लिन इज योर मोटो, बट इट मस्ट बी डिफिकल्ट टू रिमेन द ऑफिसर ऑल द टाइम. नो, it's so difficult to not be friends with them and to treat them like children. आपके साथ ऐसा होता है?
Truly speaking, if you see, we have in the armed forces also, we have a very wonderful system that while we are at work,
right,
it's very officious. We ensure that the protocol and the decorum is maintained. But when we get back to our messes or we are into our sports field, then it is a one-to-one and a very informal kind of interaction. In the camp, what happens is that while the parades are on, we are absolutely ramrod straight and we just look straight eye to eye. But then subsequently, when we have these at-home functions which are there, we have the interaction when we meet them in their dining halls or we meet them during the cultural show. Then it is a much more, it's like a father to son or a father to a daughter relationship. Also, we make sure that all the ladies, our wives also, get involved in some way or the other into interacting with them. It gives them opportunity to feel a little less homesick. And since most of us have all grown up children, our wives also look forward to interacting with them. And it becomes more like a family unit rather than a very stiff-collaredly discipline arrangement which you are talking about.
So this is a very special bond that you share with the cadets.
Yeah.
So it is special to be a part of the National Cadet Corps, and जो आप लोग ये प्रोग्राम देख रहे हैं, NCC ज्वाइन करें, you will enjoy it. और इस वक्त हम लेते हैं एक छोटा सा ब्रेक.
दूरदर्शन आयोजित कर रहा है वंदे मातरम वीडियो कॉन्टेस्ट, जिसमें आप जीत सकते हैं 2.5 लाख रुपए की पुरस्कार राशि.
इस कॉन्टेस्ट में आपको भारत के राष्ट्रीय गीत वंदे मातरम का वीडियो बनाकर दूरदर्शन को भेजना है। अपने वीडियो में आप अपने प्रदेश के प्रसिद्ध स्थान, नदियां, फसलें, कला, संगीत, त्योहार और स्मारकों के चित्र और वीडियो भी डाल सकते हैं। कॉन्टेस्ट की अंतिम तारीख 10 फरवरी 2019 है। अधिक जानकारी के लिए लॉगिन करें www.doordarshan.gov.in। आप हमें dd वंदे मातरम contest@gmail.com पर ईमेल भी कर सकते हैं।
वेलकम बैक टू न्यू इंडिया संकल्प। आज हम बात कर रहे हैं नेशनल कैडेट कॉर्प की। वी टॉक्ड बिफोर अबाउट द सोशल कंट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ एनसीसी। तो आज का जैसे हमारा ये प्रोग्राम लोग देखेंगे तो उनका मन तो होगा कि हम भी एनसीसी ज्वाइन कर लें। तो क्या हर जगह, हर कॉलेज की या हर स्टेट की एक लिमिट होती है कि सिर्फ इतने लोग ही एनसीसी का पार्ट बन सकते हैं?
Unit, our NCC is actually structured around the state directorates. Below the state directorates, we have a group headquarter and a unit. So every unit has got a capacity to which it can actually take the cadets. That's how progressively we are reaching a figure of we've about 13.28 lakhs today, and by the end of 2020, we have got we will be having about 15 lakh cadets. Now, if you have got if your unit is close by and an NCC is there in your college, you can straight away enroll into NCC. However,
what is the criteria? एक student
there is a selection process because the number of vacancies are limited. So you have a medical, you have an interview, there is a selection process through which you go in. But for facilitating those children whose schools do not have NCC, we have a concept of open vacancies which are there.
Okay.
And this open vacancy is something which I think Air Commodore Sunil would be able to throw light on.
Yeah, ma'am. We have a concept of all the students because, as it has been said, NCC at present is available only to around 16,000 institutions. You know, and which comes to just about 2%. You know, and so in the sense the students who are there in the remaining institutions, a system of open vacancy has been created wherein the students can apply for NCC under open enrollment to his nearest NCC unit. But the only issue is availability of vacancies. Again, it comes down to the demand and supply. So the number of people who can be satisfied through open vacancies is limited.
But there must be a lot of students who must be demanding that they be enrolled in NCC. ऐसा तो होता होगा ज़रूर.
We have about, he was mentioning there are about 16,800, I think 37 or 38 institutes, that is schools and colleges, which have got NCC. And we have over 8,000 wait-listed schools and colleges. So almost 50% of what we have is already on a wait list. So only if one school or college stops having NCC do we actually get anybody in, or else we have to expand.
And nobody would stop once they join the NCC.
We make sure, you see, NCC stands out as a youth organization through all these years because we ensure that we have a certain basic minimum standard that we maintain. So we carry out a regular performance based review of all educational institutes every 2 to 3 years, whether they are taking active participation, whether the school is supporting the cause, whether they are designating teachers who are having adequate interest, the infrastructure is available. So based on that, in case a school is not actually providing the encouragement and the support, so then we take them out and then we replace them by another school or college.
But that must be happening very rarely.
Yeah, though it is limited, but then we have that kind of a system to ensure that all our institutes which are there really want NCC.
Air Commodore, then this demand and this need for expansion is really imminent, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. One more interesting aspect that I will talk, as my DG said, about 8,000 institutions which are in the waiting list. Actually, the potential demand is much higher because the chances of getting NCC are so low for anyone. So more than 8,000 are not applying. Like the moment you have about 10, 11 institutions on waiting list for a unit, more institutions don't apply because they see, for them to get the chances are low. You are absolutely right. The demand is there for expansion, and at present we are doing it in a limited manner. We are continuing with our 2 lakh cadet expansion in 5 phases, which we started in 2015 of 40,000 cadets each, and at present the 4th phase is under execution, and the 5th phase we will get into the process of planning, and I think we will finish by 2021.
So by 2021, we'll have 15 lakh cadets in.
Yeah, authorization of 15 lakh cadets we will reach by 2021. And another interesting thing that I would like to add is when the current government came into power, they had given us new priorities for this expansion, because initially they wanted 10 lakh cadet expansion.
Yes.
So we made, so there was a lot of hectic activity in the headquarters of NCC. We did a lot of planning, and then a lot of constraints came up. So what the second best option we took is, okay, at least in this 2 lakh cadet expansion, give priority to our students in remote areas, less developed areas which are infested with left wing extremism, and you will be glad to know that 35% of our new expansion has come in these areas.
That's really wonderful, because that is where we need the cadets the most, isn't it? जनरल साहब, क्योंकि हम ये एक्सपेंशन की बात कर रहे हैं, 15 लाख भी होंगे तो हमें लगेगा कि बहुत कम है ना?
Yes, yes. Like I mentioned, we have 8,000 institutes which are actually vying for NCC.
और इसमें जब आप constraints की बातें करते हैं, तो we know that money would be a big constraint, but also training of the personnel would be another major constraint.
Yes. You see, what all goes into training a cadet? First and foremost, we must have at the college level a trained, we call him the ANO, that is an associated NCC officer. He is a designated officer of the school or college who provides the first contact and the first training which is there. Then we need to have Jawans and officers of the armed forces, that is Army, Navy and Air Force, who actually have who provide the teaching part of it. Then you need some basic infrastructure. You see, we have the plethora of activities which are done. You need a place. If you want to do drill, you need to have a ground. If you want to make them do obstacles, you need to have an obstacle course. For firing, you need a firing range. So certain amount of basic infrastructure is required. If there's a camp which has to be held for 10 days, you need to have at least an open ground where you can actually go and pitch up. That is the second part of it. Thirdly, what is there is that after all, when these cadets participate and you see them wearing these wonderful looking uniforms, somebody has to foot the bill for the uniforms.
Absolutely.
When they come for the camps, nobody charges them. It's all being paid for by the training funds for the equipment which they have. You will be surprised that the air wing cadets are being given an opportunity to fly microlights. We have actually gone in for procurement of about 110 microlights. So therefore, every cadet of air wing, once he clears NCC C certificate, would have had a flying experience. So all this also requires certain amount of money.
But General साहब, जब प्राइम मिनिस्टर रैली में वो माइक्रोलाइट आता है और उसमें से कैडेट जब उतरती है और प्राइम मिनिस्टर को सल्यूट करती है, that moment is worth, it's priceless, isn't it?
Yes, yes. But you see, it's like this, while he was just mentioning, we were talking about, the government said 10 lakhs. Every organization has to build up progressively. You've got to consolidate what you have.
Can this ever become a public-private enterprise?
There are various options which we are, we have just mentioned. We are running our brains to try to make sure that we expand to the extent possible. But what I would like to highlight is that while we expand, we must ensure that a basic minimum quality is ensured. Otherwise, it becomes just one of the run-of-the-mill youth organizations, which is just not acceptable.
Absolutely. That's very well said. That is not acceptable. क्योंकि जो core values हैं NCC की वो तो हमेशा maintain होनी चाहिए. अब बात करते हैं इन students की, ये cadets की जो आए हैं. जब हम you're on this program called New India Sankalp, जहाँ एक नए भारत के निर्माण की तरफ चल रहे हैं. What are your ideas of a new India? How do you see the new India?
I am Senior Under Officer Shraddha Maiti, representing West Bengal and Sikkim Directorate.
Right.
So what I feel is like seeing new India is having more awareness about the armed forces, as serving a nation is one of the best things which a citizen can do. And all the good values, the morals which we learn as NCC cadets, we should share it to all the youths and all the people to India, so that they keep sharing their thoughts and all the things which we are learning, because that might help a person get lightened towards a country.
That's very well put. Very well put. ये जो idealism है बच्चों में, यही sustain हो तो हम एक new India बना सकते हैं.
Because one of our core values as far as training is concerned, in our training philosophy, is to carry out innovative and safe training, so that we make these NCC cadets someone which the other youth would want to emulate, would want to follow. And that's where you actually expand the entire scope of the NCC activities.
So these are the young leaders of tomorrow. Acha, General Sahab, jab, with every passing phase, there are new challenges in the growth of the nation, growth of society. तो क्या NCC में भी इन सब चीज़ों को फिर आप involve करते हैं? क्या आप लोगों की भी philosophies में इन चीज़ों की do you include them in any which way?
When I started off the program talking about a second line of defense.
Yeah.
Today, if we actually see in our defense forces, right from the armed forces, the central paramilitary forces, and down the line, there is a fair amount of people who are there getting the citizens involved in the movement of trying to bring up the country as a whole.
Yeah.
So what we have done is that we have slowly, steadily, we try to progressively review our syllabi, so that we have a fair share, the flavor of social service and community development actually builds up.
Yeah.
They build an empathy. They actually recognize the kind of what all work they need to do to actually bring the country up. So we also keep reviewing our syllabus, refining our methodologies which are there. And if you actually see something, while we have our motto as unity and discipline, another facet which we pay a lot of stress on is integration and cohesion. And that is why one of the cadets had mentioned, we have something called a flag area competition. What happens is, every state directorate makes a kind of a model. It's a large kind of a model which is display, and in which he tries to highlight a particular theme of his state. If you actually walk through those 17 models, you have actually got a flavor of what India is all about. They've talked about a national integration presentation which are there. It is absolutely spectacular when you listen to those 20-30 minutes where they espouse right from their history of that particular state to where it is today. It is not only educative, it actually gets you when the others see it, they learn to respect each other's diversity. And that's where the cohesion and that integration feeling which is there of oneness actually comes in.
Oneness and awareness of each other.
Yeah.
And as you said earlier, a sensitization towards each other, that is very important. Are we also preparing for the digital age? हम लोग digital India की बात कर रहे हैं, and that is expanding exponentially. तो उस तरफ क्या कर रही है NCC?
As part of these core programs which are there, one of them is digital literacy.
Okay.
So what we have done is that first of all, they go, whenever the cadets go to various places, they are trying to espouse the values of digital literacy which is there. Also, we have gone in with some NGOs who are coming and running short capsules as part of the camp, where they educate the students as to what all involves. That is, if you want to use your bank, when you have to all the using the digital platforms for actually carrying out various activities.
Right.
In our Saturday, we have these marches. They carry these placards. Then also we have an NGO which is trying to teach them how to learn about cyber security.
Okay.
And also, in case somebody wants to pursue as ethical hacking also, or as a profession, even there we are trying to give them a chance which is there. And through each of these cadets, if he gets aware of the digital aspects which are there, I am sure he will tell his family, his near and dear ones, and possibly the numbers will just spread. From the idea is that for every one you actually teach at least another 10 to 15 people.
Yes.
So that's how the digital literacy spreads.
Yeah. And it spreads exponentially.
Yeah.
So when you learn all these things, do you also try to teach other people around you? Yes. Any one of you would like to share your experience? Who has taught what to whom?
Myself, Cadet Abhinav Mishra from
Right.
Uttar Pradesh Directorate. I have attended many rallies related to social awareness program, and I have also motivated some of the civilians about the various programs organized by conducted through the rallies, and the blood donation camps also. We organize blood donation camps and motivate the cadets and other people also to donate the blood. And whenever there is a requirement of blood, actually, if one is not getting in, this is the best example I can put in front of you. If a civilian is not getting blood, then they contact us, and around 15 to 20 of us contact them to donate the blood. And if all the doors are closed, then they contact us, and we definitely help them.
That's wonderful. That's great work you're doing. General sir, one of the things that is a current topic is, again we are coming back to gender sensitization, that the harassment of women, we see it in papers all across. So are the cadets also taught to stop it? I mean, of course they don't practice it, but अगर दिख रहा है आपको कोई harassment हो रही है उसको रोकने का?
I was telling you, it's one of our commandments which are there.
Okay.
And also what we have done is, over a period of time, our endeavor is to reach a figure of almost 35% of girl cadets. I am proud to say that we have already reached almost about 32%. And initially we used to have we had a segregation. We used to have girl battalions and we used to have boys battalions.
Right.
Now, once we started off our expansion of trying to get larger number of girls into NCC, we started off a concept of a mixed concept. In a mixed concept, you will have platoons which will have girls also, and you will have boys also. So by these mixed units which are there, automatically when you come rub shoulder to shoulder to each other, participate in these kind of joint camps, this gender sensitivity comes in, and they have actually been explained that it's not enough to just be gender sensitive, you must even stand up to it.
So as we come to the end of the program, wouldn't it be wonderful to end with the NCC song, which actually is a capsule really. It encapsulates the NCC ethos and represents a mini India.
I think there's no better way to end any activity which is there, especially related to NCC, than the NCC song. You very rightfully said that it truly epitomizes unity in diversity which is there. And the words of the song, which has been written by Sudarshan Fakir, is wonderful. And truly speaking, I can assure you that it will give goosebumps to anybody who's standing and hearing this song.
I'm sure they will when our cadets sing, "Hum sab Bhartiya hai."
हम सब भारतीय हैं, हम सब भारतीय हैं, अपनी मंजिल एक है, आहा एक है, ओहो एक है, हम सब भारतीय हैं, हम सब भारतीय हैं, कश्मीर की धरती रानी है, सरताज हिमालय है, खुशी